Welcome back to my return to dance journey. I'm an ex-pro teen dancer who wondered, pretty much 3 decades later, is it possible to go back to dance and be great again? Well, that's what I'm exploring in this docuseries, so hey, I'm honored to have you here. I'm hoping you find it inspiring. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are the first to know when a video drops. Now, lately, I've gotten a lot of questions on my social media, one of them being probably the most frequent question, hey, Miller, why did you quit dance at 19 years old? You had a career. And I decided, that's a really good episode for my YouTube channel right here, because it is an episode. There are maybe at least 5 reasons I quit dance way back in the day. A few of those reasons I think you might find kind of surprising, to be frank. I thought, let's sprinkle in some more of the personal life here on YouTube, still related to dance, but this way you get an understanding of the big picture, and you can appreciate the journey I think I'm on right now even more. I'm excited to incorporate those kinds of videos onto this channel very shortly. Speaking of personal life stuff, if you recall, in the last episode, I had just finally had momentum with my dance, taking something like 80 dance classes in a period of 2 months in the beginning of 2020, and then all just stopped. No more dance classes in person, and now it was about just figuring out life. I had a roommate at the time so that I could afford living in Los Angeles to pursue this dance project, and she very quickly took off.
So I'm just here with the pole. That's it. All I've seen is the pole for days. Days. My roommate took off, drove 15 and a half hours to get to Colorado because she's like, I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be with her family. I get it. And I'm blessed to work. I'm working a lot. That's awesome. I've got a lot of food in my kitchen. I don't want it though. I don't want to eat it because it's healthy and it's boring. This is a time for comfort food.
How was I going to stay in shape during the pandemic with gyms shut down? Well, I have the chills right now. I have the chills. This is crazy. A monumental occurrence. And this is not hyperbole. This was a ginormous thing to happen. I remember we had a gym in our apartment complex and it was shut down also. And I thought, what if I asked the apartment manager person if I could take some of those things from the gym and put them in our home?
Look what I freaking scored. The Ballsy Miller asked and he received. I got a pair of 25s, I got a pair of 45s. She let me take 2 sets, and 45 was the highest they went to. The whole freaking bench! The whole freaking bench is mine. Thank you! Thank you very much.
The power of asking. Months and months later, my roommate returns, and it was a great experience all around, a net positive for sure, but I needed my own place at this point. So I moved out, I got a place in North Hollywood, which I converted into a dance studio. I put up the mirrors, and it was a whole project. And I brought that bench with me from the gym. I didn't tell anybody, it was a secret because the gym wasn't open yet anyway, so I'm like, I'll just return it when the gym opens. Obviously, I'm a good guy, I'm gonna do that. That bench was with me almost 1.5 years to 2 years. I mean, can we say lifesaver? Game changer. Now, this for me, I got the chills again. Wow, it's so crazy how I can tap back into it. For me, probably the most, instrumental part of the pandemic in regard to my return to dance journey was stretching. I was inconsistent with it, but considering all the things, I was most consistent with stretching because I couldn't dance from home. I had a very difficult time with online classes. God bless the dancers who have no problem picking up choreography from their little laptop screen and making it work. I tried, I could not make it work. My focus just kept disappearing. I'm like, do I have ADHD? Because this is insane. But stretching. I showed up to my stretching. I remember myself as a teenage dancer, and flexibility was a component, knowing that was part of the art form for me. I just wanted to get my flexibility, I don't know if back is the right word, but I just wanted to improve upon my flexibility. In about 2 months, I got my splits.
I'm looking at my splits in the mirror, and it's like they don't even resemble the splits. They're like, they're awful.
With all of the in-home workouts and really showing up to that, which was so crucial, and the stretching, I hoped that by the time I did take in-person dance classes again, that I would feel at the very least in shape. My health. Yes, I got COVID.
Well, I've been biting into things because I have no sense of smell, no sense of taste. Serrano pepper. I took a couple pieces of this. It had like zero effect on me. I made spicy margaritas with this for July 4th recently, and I remember just smelling it was hard for me. So this is a pretty decent size on my tongue. Nothing at all. I'm spitting because when it goes down the throat, you can feel it. Now, my tongue right now is getting some spice sensation, but just a little tiny bit. Red onion, just cut this. I'm gonna take a bite out of it right now. Like my brain knows it's an onion, but my tongue won't know. So I got no taste. But I am getting from the onion more than the serrano pepper. I'm getting spice, and I feel the nasal passageways. I can feel them working right now, like I'm inhaling spice. So that maybe is a good sign, I'm not sure. But I didn't taste anything just now. So there it is, breakthrough case, me, 1 in 10,000, COVID, after being double vaxxed.
Thankfully, gratefully, it was nothing horrible for me, but there was a lot of weirdness.
I have a certain tightness in my chest. I have, when I talk, I have the sensation that I need to clear my throat all the time, but there's nothing to clear. Also, when I talk, my voice, after just a few minutes usually of talking, my voice gets very fatigued, and it actually hurts to talk. I also have a heat sensation that sort of runs through here up through my jowls. At the same time these symptoms came about, I also have experienced parosmia, which is that distorted smell that can come as a side effect from COVID. And by the way, I went to a doctor, a general practitioner, and I just feel like Western medicine, when you tell them, oh, I think I've got long COVID, like, they don't get it. They're like, no, you don't. They want to give you medicine. They want to say it's allergies. Oh, you got post-nasal drip. He told me to take Zyrtec for 2 weeks, which I did. I experienced zero alleviation. And he said, do the neti pot, which I did. I experienced zero alleviation. I do not have COVID. I did not have it that time, which is great. It turns out it seems to have been a cold. I took NyQuil last night at like 3 o'clock in the morning and thought I really got to go see an ENT. I have a lot of the same symptoms that one has when having polyps in the vocal area, vocal cords. And I thought, could that be what I have? Because it's literally been months of choking, of vocal fatigue, of clearing my throat when there's nothing to clear. And now I've been sick for a week. I'm starting to feel like, will I ever be able to talk again? Like I don't want that to sound funny, cute, hyperbolic. I don't feel like I've got any command of my voice. Do you know what it's like going through Christmas season and not being able to sing Christmas songs the way you want to? People do say that if it is COVID related, that there really is nothing a doctor can do, and a doctor cannot even really be able to discern. It's just kind of a waiting game.
Easily, though, the most profound thing that happened for me during the pandemic was I met someone. Now, it's profound for a couple different reasons. One, the obvious, the pandemic. Who's meeting people? But I did meet my person during the pandemic. June 2020, at the height of the craziness, I feel like, especially in Los Angeles. Like, to have experienced the pandemic in LA, I feel like was, from everything I had learned and read, it definitely was one of the more extreme places to be. Now, it is additionally profound because, and here is where I'll interject a little bit of my personal story, I came out of the closet very, very late in life, at 37 years old. No one knew about my sexuality prior. And at 39 is when I really began to tell more friends and coworkers. I had never been in a relationship previous to this person. We met, I think I was around 45, maybe 46. So to have your first relationship at that age is huge. I'm his first relationship too. I'm the first person he told about his sexuality. So we had just this crazy thing in common up until the pandemic. While I had tried to meet people, I was on the dating apps and all of it, I just never met anybody. So now I had a partner during this time in the pandemic, and we really lived our lives. Whenever there was the opportunity to go to a bar, when those were open, we were there. When traveling was an option, we traveled. We traveled quite a bit during the pandemic.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Eventually, we decided to move in together and get our own place. Taking down those mirrors, I have to admit, was a little bit bittersweet because I thought, oh my God, I didn't even dance and I was supposed to. Summer of 2021, feeling just, I think, stressed and overwhelmed that I wasn't dancing, you know? That burden always driving me bananas because I'm still thinking, my dance project, like this is the thing I'm doing, this is the thing that I care about the most. I want to inspire people with this. An ad came up, I thought it was like, ooh, universe, meant to be, for an online dance course that was, if I remember correctly, it was a month and it was every day. You check in and it was holding you accountable, and there were other dancers in the course and they would watch you and you would watch them. And it was with Kyle Hanagami. He's a very well-known choreographer. It was his course, and I thought this will incentivize me to show up to dancing from home. Like, I will make it happen. And I did. I finally was dancing from home, and it felt so good. I was so consistent. I danced hard for like 20 days in a row. At the same time, the gyms were open and I'm finally back at the gym and I'm lifting my weights. Not crazy heavy because of an old shoulder injury, so I don't go crazy heavy, but I was going heavier. And unfortunately, a freaky thing happened. I think I was just putting my body through so much so fast. I'm at the gym and I pick up a light dumbbell, 10, 15 pounds, and I go and I kind of like turn, just doing nothing, like nothing. And in this one random freaky moment, my back literally snapped. Like it went boop, and I immediately couldn't breathe. Like it felt like my ribs had buckled in or something. I went home, I'm like, I'll be better. I'm doing foam rolling and it's now hurting to sit. It's hurting to stand. And breathing was really a thing. I found a chiropractor, I think after a week or two. Honestly, she really changed my game. Like she got me right.
I'm seeing, right leg is about a ½ inch short,
Oh, wow.
and the hip is higher.
Okay.
So what that tells me is your hip is pulled back, pull the leg up with it, and that your baseline is uneven, so other things throughout the spine then start to compensate.
Okay.
So it won't stop you from doing what you do, but because the motion or the mechanics are off, that's why you end up getting sore. So the first thing I'm seeing is legs are even again.
Oh, good.
All right, we got you.
Sweet, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I felt super tentative about trying to dance again, certainly going back to the gym immediately. And so I took about 3 months off just to play it super safe before getting back into the online dance class. And by the time I got back into the class, the students I was, holding accountable, they were holding me accountable, and we were just checking in every day with each other and doing all the courses and whatever, the lessons. They're now long gone. Like, they're not there anymore. And I'm just like in there by myself. And so that wasn't very inspiring. And I never actually finished the course, to be frank. It's still waiting for me though. In-person dance classes. I remember the studio being shut down for most of the pandemic and then opening up again for little pockets. In all of this time from March 2020 all the way until basically January of 2022, I took maybe 4 or 5 classes in person.
Too, because the teacher had commented on how she doesn't do a jeté really anymore because she's 40 and she's had a couple of knee replacements or something like that. At the end of class, a couple of people were talking. She was like, "Where have you studied?" And he's like, "I used to go to the Edge." And she's like, "Well, did you ever take with me?" And he was like, "No, I went in 2002." And I was like, and he was like, 2002, as if that's like so long ago. And it is. And she's like, "Well, I'm 40, so I get it." And he's like, "Well, I'm 38. And I'm like, I'm 47. They have no idea that there's a guy in class who's a decade older than them. When the guy said 2002, I was like, yeah, when I last really studied, it was 1992, maybe 94, around that time. So I have to really give myself grace and take that all into the equation because I've really started and stopped since I returned to dance in early 2019, when I was like middle of 44 years old. I've really started and stopped so often that really I'm starting all over again after starting all over again, really. When you hear those people talk about their age a lot, and I'm like, age schmage, but it's really a thing. Like, it is a thing. I'm 47. And in a lot of my classes, I'm holding my own with 20-year-olds. I feel like, I know this is just an ego thing, but a part of me wants to be like, hi, I'm 47 and like, I haven't danced in 25 years. Like, so that's my story, everybody.
Just so slippery. Normally I have water and I dip my toes or my shoes in water and it works fine. But today that helped for like, I don't know, 5 seconds into the dance or just into dancing. And it was like ice. And I don't know how the people are turning barefoot in socks. So maybe I just got to ask a teacher, like, what's your secret? Because I'm combating super slippery shoes. And the floors are like just not made for jazz dance, I feel. And rosin, I mean, that just doesn't exist anymore, I guess. When all is done, like, I'm very proud of my work in there. As bad as I think it looks on camera, in my head, the fact that I knew what was coming next the whole time, even if I was slippery and kind of seemingly lost, it was like, okay. And again, I've not been dancing like at all. So it's time to really get back and do this. Basically, as you can tell, obviously no dancing. During the pandemic, And 2022 was around the corner, and I knew I needed to do something pretty intense when 2022 rolled around. Now that classes were officially back and they looked like they were staying back, I had to do something that would be extreme, that would incentivize me to show up, hold me accountable, that would be a huge investment in time and money. What was that thing I did in 2022 that got me dancing more than ever so far in this return to dance journey, which included a lot of drama? Yeah. Well, you'll find out in the next episode. So yeah, make sure you are subscribed. Like this video if you appreciated it. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. A little bit different, right? Give me your suggestions. What do you want to see in future episodes? I'm here for you. I listen. I respond to all the comments, and hit that notification bell. And let's dance. See you next time.